Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can Fly. Oh man, so much going on with this IFR!
Perfect.
Okay, so I know this is a little bit different. You know, this Upload Friday is a little different from all the others that I've had, you know, for a while. Had a nice run of flying videos, and trust me, they are coming back. That is not going to stop. But I thought I would take a break on this Upload Friday and talk a little bit about what's happening with my IFR, my instrument flight training, and what's happening so far. So as you all know, I'm out here at the Northeast Philadelphia Airport. This is where I plan to do my IFR training. And Niner, Quebec is the platform that I'm going to use primarily. Going to use some of the Lima Alphas as well, and you can see some of those in the background, or else actually a lot of them are actually flying. But those are going to be the platforms that I'm going to use, just because the avionics, you know, all of that good stuff. So won't want to get into that. But right now where I am is, like I said, I am committed to getting the ground school and getting the written behind me. So that's what I'm really focused on. So let's get in the car, let me get back home, and I'll show you what I'm doing and the progress that I'm making towards sitting for the written. I think what I'd like to do is spend the rest of February and maybe take my written in March, which is scary because that written is going to be serious because all the acronyms and all of that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, somewhere in the March, April time frame, I'd like to take the written and then really start, you know, think about, you know, flight training, because like I said, I'm committed to getting my instrument rating in calendar year 2023. So let's get home and let me show you what I'm doing for my ground school. Okay, so I'm back home from the Northeast Philadelphia Airport, and I kind of want to go through some of the things that I've been doing to prepare for this written exam, for this instrument rating. And I got to tell you, it's interesting to go back through ground school and to realize that, you know, although this is just another layer and another rating, it is a significant leap from the VFR private pilot license ground school that I had to do to now this instrument rating IFR ground school to have to do. I mean, the amount of acronyms and stuff is just crazy. Plus, I'm going to show you the charts look completely different. So what's the first thing? All right, let's get into that. So of course you remember this book, right? The Instrument Flying Handbook. And the reason why I got this one is this is the material that they're going to provide actually during the written exam. And I figured I might as well have this material so that if I have to refer to something, I've already, you know, kind of worked my way through it. So I've basically have read this entire book cover to cover. Now, does that mean I understand everything in it? Absolutely not. But remember when I was telling you about acronyms? Oh my gosh, look at this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. One of the things I found interesting is that I had to get into this new thing about IFR en route charts as opposed to the charts I was used to using for VFR flying. And I'll get into that a little later, but here's just some of the acronyms that just kind of get thrown at you like really quick. So first of all, MEAs are minimum en route altitudes, not to be confused with MOCAs, minimum obstruction clearance altitude, not to be confused with MRAs, minimum reception altitudes, not to be confused with MCAs, or minimum crossing routes, not to be confused with MAAs, or maximum authorized attitudes, not to be confused with TCANs, or tactical air navigation channels. I mean, it just goes on and on in terms of the different acronyms that came up, and that whole thing is just, you know, crazy in and of itself. And so I've really tried to get better at understanding, okay, ARTCC, Air Route Traffic Control Centers. Okay, I think I can remember that. But those are the things that I'm really trying to get under my under my grasp. And as you can see, I have some of them written down here: SIDS and ODPs and STARS and IAPs. Just trying to get all of that stuff cemented in my brain because it's important. And so working with that book, that's what I've really been focusing on. And I'm definitely getting better. Of course, I know STARS and SIDS and that kind of stuff, ARTCCs, I know MOCAs and MEAs. So I'm feeling pretty good about acronyms and understanding what they stand for. Now it's really understanding what they mean. So although I know that a MOCA is a minimum obstruction clearance altitude, what that actually means in practice and what it means in a particular area. So those are the types of things that I'm beginning to cement in terms of my understanding. So if I get questions on the written, I'll know what these things mean. Now again, it'll get more cemented as I get into flying, but that's what I'm doing so far in terms of, really trying to introduce myself to the basics of the ground school for IFR, and a lot of it was in that publication. All right, so that's the first thing. So before I go to number 2, I'm going to have to fire up my computer and show you what I've been doing to prepare for the written. This tool has been very helpful from the standpoint of providing an overview about some of the things and concepts that I need to understand for my instrument rating, ground school, and the written exam. All right, let me get to the computer. So the second thing that I've been doing to prepare for this written exam and where I am in terms of my progress. So I bought a subscription to the Sporty's online ground school. As you can see here, I'm making good progress. I'm 77% through the video portion of the ground school. Now, one of the things that's kind of interesting is I'm going to launch this course real quick. Launch instrument rating course, and you can see I've been methodically going through each of the different video components. So I have finished instrument rate flying fundamentals, air traffic control for IFR, etc., etc. I am now on advanced IFR, and I'm 4 videos into 12. So eventually I'll have one more section to go, and then what I'm going to do is go over here and start doing some test prep. And I haven't looked at what this is exactly, but I'm going to go into this, start new study sessions, and then eventually I will do my practice tests, and I'll do a bunch of them. What's the third thing? Well, this has really been interesting because this came up as a result of some of my checkout rides with Max as I'm, making this transition from, the Cessnas to the Pipers. He mentioned something, and this tool is awesome. It's dense, but it's awesome. And let me show you what that is in terms of the third thing that I'm using to prepare for this written exam. So one of the other suggestions that I received was to check out this thing called PilotsCafe.com. And I am so glad that Max suggested this because this study guide that came out of that is awesome. Like I said, it is dense, but it is awesome. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is what the Pilot's Cafe Airplane IFR Quick Review Study Guide looks like. And as you can see, it just breaks down these concepts in these bite-sized, and really, really well thought out lists. So for instance, when is an instrument rating required? So it gives you a bullet list right there. Boom. When acting as PIC under IFR conditions, less than IFR. And the thing that's cool is it even gives you the Federal Aviation Regulation citation, or the FAR. And when it needs to, it'll also give you the AIM, the Aeronautical Information Manual citation as well. And so here's another one, that I think, what really did it for me in terms of using this as a tool. So to act as PIC under IFR in weather conditions less than, you need 6 hits. Within 6 calendar months of the flight, you need 6 instrument approaches. And then here's your hits: holding, procedures and tasks, intercepting and tracking courses, And so those are your 6 hits. And if you don't have those within 6 calendar months, you're not current and you can't, act as PIC, blah, 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 blah. So this study guide is amazing. And I tell you, the one thing I had always been, couldn't understand when I looked at section 61.51 of the FAR, how you log instrument time, this broke it down so nicely. So this is just such an amazing study guide. So that's the third tool that I'm using in conjunction with my Sporty. So basically, what I'm doing now is, you can see I'm 77% through the video overview from Sporty's, and I'm going to finish that. The next thing I will then do is start doing some study sessions where I do some practice questions, and I'm going to do a bunch of those study sessions, including doing tests on questions that I get wrong. And anytime I get a question wrong or something like that, then I will go to PilotsCafe or my handy dandy instrument flying book to shore up any concepts or issues that I may have or I may be struggling with. So that's kind of where I am. I'm making some progress. I'm learning some things. Some of the concepts are easy. Still not, understanding certain things as much. And there's still some calculations that I can't, kind of keep in my head. So I have to keep reminding myself what those calculations are, and that kind of thing. Also, I'm not as clear on how to create a flight plan yet. And so those are some of the concepts that I really need to work on. But those are the ones that, I think will come as I'm, really doing some of the flight training portion. Okay, so that's really it. And I know this isn't as, as entertaining as the flying videos. Trust me, next week we're back to flying. We're back in the cockpit. But like I said, I want to share everything about my journey, and this preparing for the written exam for the instrument rating is part of that journey. So I am in it. It is difficult. There's a lot of concepts. Some of the things are still, not totally within my grasp, but it's coming. So that's why, I had to take this pause from the flying and just share where I am and what the plan is going forward. And so this is the sausage, you get to see the sausage being made. So at any rate, thank you for joining me on this journey. I thank you for all the love and the support I've gotten over the years that we've been at this. And there's been many of you who have been on this journey with me for those years. And I really appreciate each and every one of you who have stuck by me and have stayed on this journey. And for all the new folks who have come in, welcome. Thank you for, supporting the channel. Thank you for the comments. Some of the things that are so amazing is getting comments from folks in Brazil, in Puerto Rico, in France, in England. I mean, it's just awesome, and the community, the aviation community is just so amazing. So thank you all. All right. Take care, Russ Kid, Russ can fly, working on this IFR written. Oh, pray for our brother. Anyway, take care. Peace.